Hello everybody, today I bring you the solution to those bossing stages where you are kind of stuck and just having a hard time pushing through, which in particular are going to be the Lamp Thief, but more recently and more importantly actually, it's going to be the Sacred Trials, where you're going to be needing a lot of big single target burst damage to actually be able to go anywhere further than whatever you are at, right? I'm currently stuck at difficulty 8-10, and just to give you a showcase of what my current build is able to do, and we'll compare the builds and show you the new one later, I am going to be able just to get it about like half HP or something like that, not even, right? You can see that my damage is quite lackluster. So with this build that I'm going to be showing you today, we're going to be taking this meager amount of damage that's not able to really get me anywhere in this stage in particular to hopefully something that's going to be either a kill or closer to a kill, right? It's going to be an upgrade for sure, right? So let's get into it. Freeze! Download Legendary Mushroom through Aptoide right now and enjoy bonuses of up to 35%. As you accumulate these bonuses, you'll be able to use them to buy things for you instead of actually using your real money like we are showing right here. All you need to do is go to Google and search for Aptoide, click on the first link that appears and download it. As you download Aptoide, it will install in your device. Once it is installed, go ahead and search for it in your device, and then within it, go ahead and search for Legend of Mushroom. Go ahead and click on Legend of Mushroom within Aptoide and download it and install it in your device. Then head on over to Google Play and search for Upcoins wallet and download it and open it up. Once you have it installed, here you will be able to see how much bonus you currently have unlocked, as well as input my promo code Midway, which is going to be increasing the bonus you are getting when buying things in Legend of Mushroom by 5% forever, as well as here you're also going to be able to see your purchase history. There is a guide down in the description, and the code is also down here on the screen as well as in the description, so go ahead and get it now and start earning more value for your money. So we'll go slowly by parts, and first and foremost we'll start over with the skills. We'll compare what I'm running currently to what I would recommend you running, right? So there we go. At the moment I am running a bossing build which has quite some survivability tools over here, like Blitz Assault and stuns and dazzles and stuff like that, right? So that is not really contributing to my damage. There's a lot of a higher potential over here. So what are we going to be doing? Are we going to be doing switching to the burst set that I built over here, which is going to be consisting of the following. Let's check it out real quick. Of course, we are now putting in here our Clone Strike, which is going to be doing a massive burst of damage, especially when it's never going to be dying. Then we are also going to be running over here with Speed Surge, getting that attack speed maxed out as high as possible. We're going to be getting the most amount of damage possible out of it. And then we also put in Worldly Snare so we can get that additional crit rate as well as crit damage, right? It's all just focused on doing the extra damage. We are keeping in there our 100 slashes because it's just a lot of damage from it, as well as our Smoke Bomb. Those are never going to be replaced, but now we got a setup that's all going to be offense. For pals, this is what I was running before. I had some survivability tools once again over here with the bossing build, with the deer giving me a little bit of damage resistance, nothing too crazy, but overall it's already a decently aggressive setup with the bird over here as well as the banana. That is sort of the best that I can do with the setup that I currently have, right? I don't really have all the tools that I possibly would like to, right? So what I am able to assemble is the following, where I simply switch the deer for the octopus, but that is not the optimal build, and let me tell you what I would do if I had all the options, right? I am missing some key components. So first of all, what I would put in here is more boss damage. So I would be putting in here the Mona, if I do have her, which is going to be giving me that increased evasion, which I don't really care about too much right now. It would be for the boss damage increase by 30%, right? We're killing bosses in these stages, so the more damage we have for them, it's going to be a lot better. And then I would also be using the gingerbread, which is also once again gonna be giving me that boss damage, 30% boss damage. Again, we don't care about the resistance. That would be what we do. If you were to copy exactly that setup, I would be removing the octopus, and I would also be removing the banana for the other two pals that I already mentioned, the gingerbread and the Mona. Moving on to the relics, we have a lot of upgrades over here. Believe me, there is a gold mine of damage to be found in the relics. So this is what I currently run, a very standard setup with the protection here for the bossing, just so I don't die, and we are also running Time Statue, but there is better options that are going to be giving us a lot more damage. So let's switch over to our burst build and see what we got, right? So we are switching mainly to the Chronospore here, which is going to be increasing the duration by 7 seconds, of the certain dungeons, right? It's going to be extended the dungeon duration by 7 seconds, excluding certain specific situations, but for the sake of the 2 dungeons we already talked about, it is going to be working, right? So that is just going to be giving us more time to do damage to the boss, so even though we are not scaling our damage exactly through this, we still get more time, which is exactly what we need. We just need to do more damage, or rather be able to kill the boss in time, right? So perfect relic if we're going to be going for bossing, right? Now we are also switching to the flame book, which is going to be the only one that gives us an attack upgrade. We don't really care about the immunity book because we're not going to be taking damage from the lamp thief or the other dungeon, the new dungeon we already talked about, right? So the flame book is going to be an upgrade, and since we are running clone strike, we're going to be going with the storm necklace to increase the damage of it, right? It's just going to be perfect for it. And then we are also going to be running with stellar statue because it's going to be extended duration of our 100 slashes, wordly snare, and then that's like the 2 things we're running, right? So 100 slashes is going to be giving us quite a buff, as well as wordly snare, so the higher duration of this, the more benefit we get out of it, right? Then we are running over here with the metamorphic crystal because we do have the octopus at the moment, but otherwise you would still be getting some benefit out of it otherwise if you are running with, I'm not sure if Mona is considered a fox, but in any case it is kind of a relatively not important relic, and in any case we do have the kite over here as well, which would be the only option for the blue tier relic, and we are running with a crit rate, which is just a little bit more valuable than combo damage if you're speccing into scaling your crit damage, but in any case between crit rate and the combo one, it's kind of whatever. You would rather get whatever you need the most. We're not switching anything on the statue, it's still just full combo damage. Gear wise it is the same, just get a lot of crit rate as well as a lot of combo, and that is going to be your really only things that are going to be scaling your damage over here. Scaling your crit damage is of course going to be the main goal of your whole build as an archer, but otherwise you cannot really do that through your own gear. Also a pretty important upgrade you can get from the star array. I am currently running with this, which is going to be giving me a big burst of attack speed as I am starting the battle, which is going to be decaying real quick, as well as increasing the crit rate by 5.6%, which is alright. And then finally we also got over here as well as passive skills increase the damage to bosses by quite a little bit. This is not a bad setup whatsoever, but we're going to be switching it to the following, right? We're going to be going over again to the burst setup, and we'll check it out in a moment. So this burst setup is going to be doing the following. Let me real quick go out of it. There we go. We got every 16 seconds the battle starts, deal a big percentage of current basic attack damage as in the form of AoE, and every crit hit within 5 seconds is going to be dealing extra damage equal to 0.4% of the target's current HP. So no matter how high the stage of the boss is, that target's max HP is always going to be amounting for a lot of damage. Actually, it's current HP, so the higher HP, the more you're going to be doing, but as it goes down, it's a little bit lower. Anyways, it is a lot of damage coming from this single thing on its own. Then we're also going to be reducing the target's damage resistance over here with the main active skill by quite a little bit. And finally, we're also going to be getting some attack speed. So the more attack speed we're going to be getting, the more we're going to be able to benefit from all the burst initially from all the skills activating. This should be the avian you're running always as an archer. Ideally, you want to be finding the affixes over here like shroom combo, enhanced attack, rage bonus like I have over here. Super crowd combo is not bad either. Against the strong is also a very good one. Just something that's really going to be scaling your damage, right? So rage bonus is always great. That crit damage bonus is something we're going to be wanting the most of. I do have super attack over here, which is not terrible but not the greatest. In any case, the ones that I mentioned before are the ones you want to be getting on your avian. Against the strong, shroom combo, enhanced attack, and finally rage bonus. For your class awakening, you want to be putting most of your levels into the global attack as well as into your crit damage bonus. If you're not going to be taking any damage, you can take something away from the global HP, just like we're doing right now. You don't really want to be putting anything into your global defense or your crit vest bonus. I would potentially be able to reset this and get some levels away from the global HP. In fact, for these 2 dungeons in particular, you're not going to be taking any damage, and therefore the global HP is kind of whatever, right? So you could get more stuff onto the global attack as well as more stuff into the crit damage bonus. The basic attack and combo damage increase over here is not the greatest. I mean, you can put some points into it when it's very cheap, but otherwise much better scaling up the crit damage bonus. With all the changes we've done, it's time to go and find out if we're going to be able to do more damage, right? So we got all the build already equipped, and let's just go and real quick use the speed boost over there, and let's go back and see if we can actually do the sacred trials and beat this stage, or at the very minimum get a little bit of an upgrade in terms of how much damage damage we can do, right? So let's find out real quick. Are we gonna be able to beat something like this bar over here, right? We do have a little bit more time since we equipped that Relic, and we sort of can already tell that we are getting there. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit more damage, that is for sure. We kind of got at this point, and we definitely did more damage than before. It is a substantial upgrade. It is just not quite enough for my build just yet. This is a really rough stage. You need so much damage for it. Just so we can have another comparison, I did buy a key here for the lamp thief, and I was not able to beat this level before, right? I'm stuck at level 137, so let's go in there and real quick find out if we can actually beat this level right now, right? So it should potentially be the case, right? As you can see, oh my god, I'm totally destroying this guy right now. Okay, maybe I had not run this dungeon in a little while, but that was definitely an upgrade. We did buy another one, and let's see if it's going to be just as easy. I'm assuming it is. Definitely should have probably done one of these before we actually started the video, actually, with the previous build. But there we go. We are still most definitely going to be just fine. I also would have loved to measure this versus the clan, not the clan boss, the boss over here, which you called the Burning Cave, right? The Blazing Cave. That would have definitely been a very, very good metric. But otherwise, you could already tell it's a little bit of an upgrade. Most definitely, you get more boss damage out of it. So yeah, try it out, see for yourself. Let me know what you think about the build, and like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. See you guys.